Hello, you're welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to still continue with the 30 days Nomorenextdiet challenge. If you have been consistent so far, well done, you are doing a great job. Alright, so today we're talking about the mistakes that students make with the introduction section of their ICAN Case Study Reports. So if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and share this challenge with everyone you know who benefits from it. Don't be stingy, share this grace. Alright, so let's dive in. So the first mistake that students make when it comes to writing the introduction section of their report is that they don't even write it at all. Like, not doing it at all. That's the number one mistake. And I actually was of the opinion that it was unnecessary before, but when I read through the pack, I saw that ICAN specifically included it when they were talking about the report structure. Like, if you see this page, you can see that they talked about executive summary, then they moved on to the introduction, then the body of the report and all of that. So if the official examination body is saying this is the structure we want, then follow it. Yes, so you must include it, so don't make that mistake. And the reason why students don't include it is because, like, now if you check this now, you can see the boxes, the marking guide, you can see the boxes, and one box is actually 4 marks. Yes, one box is 4 marks. So you can see that if you calculate everything, it's over 100. So they didn't specifically like tell us the exact marks that are awarded for the introduction section, although they said overall report is 8 marks anyway, so probably it's part of that. But some students will argue that since ICAN did not really say how many marks are awarded for the introduction section, let's ignore it. But you can still see the structure of the report, they put it there, so you have to put it. So the second thing that people do that is actually wrong is that they remove the background of the company from the introduction. And honestly, I believe that the argument of this category of people is valid, because how would they be putting the background of a company when you're writing to a company? Like, for instance, even if it's an external report, the external party tells you write a report about our financial statement or a project or something, and then you are telling me about the company, my company. It doesn't make any sense. But see it here, I can't say what put it. I used to tell my students that sometimes it doesn't have to make sense, but would it get you the marks you need? If it will get you the marks you need, then do it. The official examination body, they said this is what they want, so just follow it. Another mistake is that people put analysis into the introduction section. Like, now you can see now that they listed the exact things that they want to see: terms of reference, aims and objectives, the company's details, as the company, the background of the company, and all of that. They did not tell you to put analysis. Like, when I talk about analysis, I'm talking about, the gross margin improved from this to this. You can just talk about the methods of analysis. Like, for instance, you can say the methods of analysis that was used for this, or the methodologies that was used for this analysis is ratio analysis, something like that. Do you get something like that? So, or you can say the methodologies used are ratio analysis and trend, something like that. But you don't have to put details. Now think about this. This is an introduction. You are just starting. You are introducing. So now, if somebody asks you, introduce yourself, you start saying, my name is this, in the year 1990, in the history of, no, you don't know that. Okay, just say few things. Oh, my name is this, I am this, I am that, I am this. Just very few details, you understand? Think about it. Like, if you're having an interview, you will not just go I'm saying all of that. So that's how the introduction section is. So you don't need to put gross margin improved from 5% to 10% or something like that. All that would be in the body of your reports. All right, so these are just like some of the mistakes that students make that I've observed over time, and I hope you will make that mistake as well. All right, so if you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Share this challenge with everyone that you know benefits from it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Like I said, I have videos on this 30 days challenge already on my YouTube channel. The reason why I'm doing this is because I just want to share tips with people, because I've observed that people do this time and time again and they fail over and over again. Okay, I think this diet, you actually have to deal with some weaknesses, deal with some mistakes, so that when you are going to the exam hall, you are going confidently and you are going to ace the exam successfully. So go and watch the video. So the next thing that I want you to do now is check this video out. This video now, the link is in the description of this particular video that you're watching. So just check it out and then you'll be good to go. I explained the introduction section in detail, like you can see I just brush through. So if you really want to understand what it looks like, what it entails, everything, watch this video and you'll be good to go. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Check the description for the link to register for the class.